Are you looking for ways to create an approval flow for persons who are not within your Microsoft 365 organization? Then send email with options. It's a choice to consider when looking for ways to create an approval flow for persons who are not within your Microsoft 365 organization. If you want to know how this is done, then stick to the end of this video. All right, hello and welcome to my channel. I am Prince Adimado, and in this video I'll be showing you how to create an approval flow for persons who are not within your organizations with this action called send email with options, an action within the Outlook connector. So we're using the Outlook connector to make this happen. So let's jump straight into the video. But before that, if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel and turn on post notification to get notified anytime I release a new video. Let's go. So for this flow, you'll be building something like this. So this is the kind of flow you'll be building so that you anticipate this will be the end flow. So you get a new response from a form, Microsoft Forms. You get the response details. Then we enter into a switch statement. In this one, I have to go into the edits, but let me use this. You create a switch statement, and the switch statement we using since an approval flow will be this will be the scenario. The scenario will be purchasing of handbooks or lecture notes, or that's what you'll be doing. So for the first lecture note to be Java 1 and Java 2, that's introduction to object-oriented programming with Java 1 and Java 2. So once we create a switch statement from the get response in the form, the one option will be Java 1. And in Java 1, if the course selected is Java 1 to switch to this case, so then we send an email, right, to the person who we send an email to the class rep, because the class rep will have to approve. What you're trying to do is that we're trying to automate the purchasing of electronics. Or let me say, from part of you come from where I am coming from, Ghana, you call it handout, right? So you'll be sending an approval email to the course rep to confirm whether this person has actually paid for this particular lecture note. So once that is done, once it is approved, we'll send an email. If true, we send an email to the students, right, to the student to check to tell him or her whether it is approved. And after sending the email is confirmed, it will create an item in a SharePoint list. So I think for this flow, this is the thing to consider. The person submitting the format must check that the email being submitted is actually correct. All right. Otherwise, it won't create an item in the SharePoint list, because if this is not true, if the sending of the email is not true, it won't create an item in the SharePoint list. And same thing for Java 2. You'll be repeating the same thing for Java 2. Let's say you have like 6 courses, you'll be doing same thing for 6 courses. All right. So with that said and done, let's go into our video. So this is the SharePoint list I was using. So I'm going to use the same thing and I'm going to change it. So we are going to use the full name. Usually the title, I make sure that I use I used the response ID, then the time, then the submission time for the title, so that we can track like the data. You get it when the person submitted the form and all that. Then the full name, student ID will come here. Then the email of the student, then paid. And even for the paid, we are only keeping only paid persons in this handbook. So if you haven't paid, if you submit the form and the course rep approves you as paid, it will be here. So what we are trying to do that we want to keep. So I think this not paid is an option. Choice options shouldn't even be here. So in what I'll be creating, I'll not be adding. We are only keeping only paid persons or students within this handbook. In this handbook approvals or lecture note approvals. So let us jump straight into Power Automate. So let us create a flow. We click on the create flow to open the flow page. This flow is going to be an automated cloud flow. Let me give it a name. I give it handbook flow. So let me change the name to lecture note flow 003. And this flow is going to be when a new response is submitted. But before we create this, let me go into Microsoft Forms and create a new form. So in a new form, I'm going to do a lecture notes for lecture notes for. Then for the we're going to, our first option is going to be full name. Option is going to be full name, and it's going to be a required field. Then the second one is going to be student ID, like the student ID of the person or of the student. The last one, not the last one, the next one will be email address of the students. So this approval flow could be any approval. Like I'm using this as a scenario. So the next one is going to be let me check the SharePoint list. It's going to be status of payments. So start status of payments. Right. Since we are creating it for persons who are not within our Microsoft 365 organization, what you have to do is to select anyone can respond. Anyone can respond, doesn't require authentication or signing. If you set it to only people within my organization or specific people within my organization, only certain people within my organization can fill the form, right? So you are setting it to anyone so that anyone in the world who get access to the link can submit the form. All right. So once we are done, let's just jump straight into Power Automate and create the flow. So we have to give it uh, parameters. So parameters. So it's going to be lecture notes forms. I think let me check the name of the yes forms. I think I had one already. Lecture notes forms. Click on the next one. Add an action, and the action is going to be forms. We want to get response details, and in getting of the response details, I want to select the same form again. Then a response ID will be a dynamic content. This is a response ID. So once done, I didn't include one field in the form, so I have to include. Uh, yes, I have to delete this and add choice because the payments we will determine the payment. It's not the students who will determine the payment, right? You will check from like the course report check from its records, right? So it's going to be course. Then the course, don't write it up. Chapter Java 1, then Java 2, right? So once it's done to saving, so all that we have to do is to come within Microsoft. Let me go back, right? Let me go back, and then let me click on edit again. So it's like it's a refresh. So the switch statements, I think it will be the built-in actions. So you need to be switch statements. And the switch statement, once you choose a value, The value is going to be the course, and I'm going to add one. So with this, it's going to be chapter one. Then I'm going to add another one, chapter two. So let us name this. I'm going to name it chapter one, chapter one, chapter two. And you actually send an email with options, right? So you send an email to the course rep. The person will be confirming or rejecting the approval. Um, so hide HTML message, show HTML confirmation dialog to yes. Let me change this to approve, reject, then like this one. Um, then the subject. So let me go into this flow, into this flow. Let me copy this. So with this, I can add the dynamic content for the course. Yes. Then I have to add a body. So you come here to select that. In the advanced parameters, select the ones you want to use. To pop up here. Set this one to yes. That use only HTML message. Then you have the body too. Where's the body? Here's the body. Let me go into this so that we fast track creation of the flow. Right, so let me cancel this. So with the details, so the full name, we're going to check out. We are going to put the dynamic content, full name, email address, and student ID, and then the lecture notes is going to be the lecture notes is going to be that will be the course. Going to bring the name here. Confirm whether my Prince Animado has paid for this lecture notes. Thank you. So we are done with this. So I think let me pause for now. We're going to go into the condition. We're going to go into the built-in connectors. In the built-in connectors, we select control and we select this action condition. In the condition, we're going to add a dynamic content here. That is the body selected option from the email with options. Then if it is equal to, so you just write approve, or better so you can initiate a variable for that, but you can just still write approve. Must make sure that what you're writing here is what is in your option, like your choices in your email with options here. All right, so approve. That's for one function. So as I'm doing this, I should do the same thing for the Java 2. Right, so we're going to be Outlook. We're going to be the Outlook. Um, so add a custom value here. Then we're going to add body. We're going to add a single message. I'm going to show this to yes. we are not going to hide it. For this, I want to set it to yes. Um, so I can come here, and copy this, copy it to the side, and approve, then reject. That's all. I think we adding the body to where's the body? Where's the body? So you come here, get the body of the email. I'll just paste it here because it's the same thing. Um, show HTML confirmation dialog. Yes, hide no. Yes. I think for this we are done. So let me add the switch. So going to the beauty instead of searching, just going to the beauty control, then condition, and the condition I'm going to add uh, the selected option from the email with options. Then if it is approved, yeah. So now we are on the same page for both switch cases. So let me add an action at the true side. So you're going to send an email to the student or the person who submitted the form. So we are going to come here and select send an email version 2, and then send an email version 2. Um, yeah, it's going to be a dynamic content. So we're going to use the email from the response, from the form response and the subject. So let me just come here to this, what I did here. And it comes to send email. Let me copy this, come back here, just paste it. So your approval for the purchase of this. So we're going to bring our cursor here. Once we bring our cursor here, we select the course. Lecture note has been approved. Then you will need the body of the message or for the email. So I'm going to clear this and add the name. So you have to make sure that where you want the dynamic message to appear, you have your cursor to at that point. So we're going to clear this. So your purchase for the lecture notes has been approved. So for this lecture notes has been approved. Let's bring thank you here. So once we are done with this, I think we're not going to add any advanced. No, we're not going to add any advanced parameters. We will only be needing this. Right. So we're going to create an item in SharePoint. Create an item in SharePoint. Uh, so okay. Instead of the beauty, we're going to go into the all, and the all just uh, search for SharePoint. In the SharePoint, click on see more to actually see more, all the options, all the actions, and you select the create item in the SharePoint. For this, you'll be selecting uh, you'll be selecting where for the SharePoint, their site address, you'll be selecting where you created your SharePoint list. So it is in this site. Then you're going to fetch all the list. So I think it was book approvals. It's handbook approvals, yeah. So once you select that, you're going to add it to your advanced options. But this is the since title is the default one, it's going to pop up here. So what you'll be doing is to get the response ID, give it two hyphens, and just set the time, that's the submission time, so that we at least the title will be like the data, like the metadata from the form. So it's going to be the ID, the ID of the form, then the time that was the date and time it was submitted. So let me add the extra advanced parameters. We're going to add full name, student ID, email, name. And you're not going to need status of payment. Okay, you're going to need you'll be needing status of payment. I thought this one was actually the forms, the Microsoft Forms. All right. So with the status of payment, since we are in the tree segment, we're just going to add. We're going to add paid. We don't need not paid. You're going to because you want to present a list to the lecturer, full list of students who have paid. Let me put it in a better way. The full list of students who have paid for that particular lecture note. That's what you want to present, so that if you're a student and your name is not on the list, that means you haven't paid and you have to deal with the class rep and the lecturer yourself. All right. Um, we're done with the tree side. Let me go into the for side. So with the for side, we're only going to send an email. So we use the send email option, send email version 2 action. And with this, we will add the dynamic content here. This is the email. So, but before I go, let me check whether I use the dynamic content. Yes, with the email. So come here. So let me come back to my flow and click this. Let me copy this and bring it here. So I think the cursor should be here. The cursor should be here. So it's going to be the course, right? Then I'm here to copy this. So let me delete this. So here for the hello, we want to bring a dynamic content of full name, then the lecture notes. That's the name of the course. That's the name of the course. The name of the course. Yes. Okay, we are done. So we are done with the first switch. The first switch statement, and then we're going to go into the next one. The next one is going to be the same thing. Email. That will be Outlook. In the Outlook, click select see more to see more, send an email. And we're going to add a custom value and a dynamic content of um, email address. So come here, we copy this. Right. Right. So we want to create an item. You'll be creating an item in the SharePoint list if Java 2, if for Java 2. So click on see more at SharePoint. Then you create an item. So creating of an item, the same procedure, select where your SharePoint list is with that the site address. and to fetch all the list in that particular SharePoint site and add a dynamic content. So response ID, then the time. That's the submission time. Um, then we come here, select full name, student ID, email, then status of payment. All right. Then when it comes to the full name, once you populate it, full name, student ID is going to be student ID. Email address is going to be email address. Then status of payment is going to be paid. Then we come here. So let me just so yeah, we are done. We are almost done. After that, you have to test our flow. So come here to add an action, and the action is going to be Outlook. It's going to be Outlook. Outlook send email version 2, which is the version 2 connector or action. So I think here's going to be a dynamic content instead. So click on this icon to select the dynamic content for from the form. And the subject will be um like this. Bring in this here. Yes, I think we are done. No advanced parameters. And you're not going to add any advanced parameters. So what you can do is that you can name your actions so that it doesn't confuse you. You can name them. Right. So I think with this we are done. We actually moved fast. We moved very, very fast. So we can just decrease it, scale it down, or zoom out. So this is our flow. Very beautiful, right? So if this is your first time creating a flow and you think this is very advanced, no, this is not like an advanced, but it's kind of advanced though because you are doing the switch statements and all that. So um kindly comment if you actually like this flow, if you actually like what you are building. Kindly comment, let me know your opinions, let me know what you think about this video. It will go a long way to motivate me to create more videos. All right, so let me save the flow. Since we have no errors in the flow, we're going to uh save it successfully. So after saving, let's just test. You always have to test your flow. So you test it. So if it is a new flow, use previous data to test your flow. So we're going to do it manually to test our flow. So now it is waiting for a trigger from the form. So you have to come here, going to preview. It's either we're going to preview to do it, or even the preview can even set it to mobile to even test. So you can let us explore. So let us use this. So it's going to be my full name. eh, So we're adding our email. That's my email. Where's my email? And I'm going to select Java 1, then submit. See. So let me come back to this. So now, so see, it's waiting at the switch statement. So it's at the switch statement now. It's waiting for the action from the action from the course rep. I think I have to be receiving an email. Yeah, let me my email. Yes, so this is my email. It just came just now. So this is the HTML message and thing you have been selecting to yes. So you say approve or reject the approval flow initiated. My name, Prince, student ID this. This is my email. For the lecture notes, Java 1, confirm whether Prince Adimado see the dynamic data we added has paid for this lecture notes. Thank you. So you're going to click on approve and you're going to open a confirmation dialog. The one we set it to yes. We're going to select approve, confirm. So once done, I should receive another email because yes, I use the same email for that. So you can see your hello Prince Adimato, your purchase for Java 1 lecture note has been approved. Thank you. So let us go into the SharePoint list. If you see, so you can see it over here. So it didn't populate. I don't know why it didn't populate. Right. So I think it's so we are done. So it worked. It's worked. So what we have to fix it. So let me edit the flow and check. Yeah, check this side. Okay, so what I did was that I didn't add the advanced parameters for the full name, the student ID, the email address. That's why it couldn't populate. So let me do that. Going to add full name, add I'm going to add the student ID, then then the then the email address. Yes. So let me check this too. Let me just cancel them. So add the full name. Let me add full name. Let me add um student ID. Let me add email. Right. So yes. So let me click on save again to save the flow. And for this one, so let's submit another response here. So then it's going to, let me select the Java 2. Let me click on submit. So I'm actually not testing the flow. So this is the email I just received for Java 2. For Java 2, you can see it over here. You can see it over here. All right. So for this, let me click on approve. I'm going to open the confirmation dialog page to then confirm approve. Once done, I should receive an email in my Outlook. So your approval for purchase of Java 12 lecture note has been approved. So let us do same for then. So you have to test our flow in its entirety. So instead of instead of okay, so instead of filling the flow like the form again, I'm going to use the recent ones. So I'm going to select no, I'm not going to let me select this. Let me test. So right. So it is waiting on the switch statement. So we come. So for this, I'm going to reject. I'm going to reject it. Reject. I should receive an email again. So your approval flow for the purchase of Java 1 lecture note has been rejected. So I used the first form submission I did. So let me go into, so once it has been rejected, Once it has been rejected, so this one was the second one. So for Java 2, I think what I didn't do here is to add a course. You see, what I couldn't do here is to add the the course. So I can add a column here. That's the I can so instead of adding a choice, I can do it as a test field and just name it course and add it as a course and add so course. That's all. We need to the more options. Then for the one option, let me just make it 15 or let me end this 30 for the number of characters, maximum characters. Let me see. Yeah. For this, let me go into the edits. So in the edits, so it will refresh. All right. So it didn't. So let me just let me go back. Let me click on edits. So it's it was good that I'm noticing like the fields I didn't include. So let me go into so you can see the course over here. So at least we know the course that uh, the students actually selected or paid for. So we are going to add the course here. Then I'm going to add for the SharePoint list. I'm going to add a course. Let me sometimes it gives this ID, but hey, let me just add populate them again. Full name. Yes. Let me do the same for let me do the same for the first case as Java 1. So let me see. So let me click on test. We see the data that we just did, just used. So click on test. So the first one has been checked. So click on this, click on approve, then approve. So you can see Java 1. You can see Java 1 here. Yeah, so that's the field, the column we didn't add. So we can go into, I think we are done. So if you want to populate it. So this is the flow we just did. It's very like extensive because we added three statements and all that. So this is the flow. So this is how to add, this is how to create an approval flow for persons who are not within your Microsoft 365 organization using email with options. Thank you very much for watching. Kindly like the video, comment, and subscribe. But just subscribe to the channel. Let's grow the channel together as we continue to learn the Microsoft Power Platform. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.